Let's move on to some other big news coming out of media day this week. The Philadelphia 76ers, James Harden. James Harden was a no-show this week for Philadelphia 76ers in media day. We'll see about that. So the big thing all summer has been about this argument of James between James Harden and Daryl Morey. James Harden came out when he was doing his little tour in China. He came out and said that, Daryl Morey is a liar and he does not want to be part of an organization with Daryl Morey. Which, by the way, smart strategy by James Harden, I'm not going to lie, because China does not like Daryl Morey either. So
No,
it
no, they
was
do
great.
not.
It was great. Like it was a great like marketing strategy. Okay, so it went on for a couple weeks. James Harden got fined a hefty sum for saying this, and Daryl Morey basically said, "We're not trading him. We're not going to trade him." James Harden wants to go to the Los Angeles Clippers. I guess there were talks between the 76ers and the Clippers, and nothing happened. So trade talks ended, and James Harden was supposed to be on the team. Now, as we come into media day, he was not there. Grant, give me your thoughts on James Harden and this whole fiasco of him once again trying to wiggle his way out of a team before the start of the season.
Let me tell you something, dude. I mean, I'm about done with a lot of people, I guess, today. 'Cause I'm about done with his ass too, to be honest with you, man. I about had it with James Harden. I'm sick of hearing about him. I'm just sick. I'm sick of him. You can go ruin whatever team he wants to go ruin, or he can go party wherever he wants to go party. But like, I didn't even mind actually, kind of what all the 76ers players, staff, like all of it, like what they were saying at media day, like because right now they're just in this super awkward position of like hey like because James Harden he's not a superstar, he's a certified choke artist, but he's
What is
also
with you in calling people not superstars today? What? Like,
James
you
Harden is
talking
not
about
a
Kawhi
superstar
Leonard's not a
because
superstar. James Harden may not be a superstar, but Kawhi Leonard is a superstar. But keep going.
you better get me riled up today. But no, James Harden's not because he's a certified choker of the playoffs, and he hasn't. I mean, unless you want to bring him back to the superstar days of him being on the Houston Rockets. And that was when, and you wanna know why I think there's a little change there is because when he was on the Houston Rockets, he could literally do exactly what he's doing now, but just no one cared. Like he literally was just
Hmm.
living his best life. He was ISO machine. He was doing all this, and they were actually winning a little bit because he was a superstar back then. Now
Yep.
you see him now. I don't know how you can call him a superstar. I think that's blasphemous if you would call James Harden a superstar now. He's definitely a star. I mean, he's not. I mean, he's a good player. They're just getting riled up about him because he goes to all these teams. He makes it all about him. It's all about this, thinking he is like the next Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Kareem, Kobe. Like you're not that guy, pal. You're just not. You just. I mean, you had a good run while you were in Houston, and spoiler here, we might have a little pod going into potentially talking about that Houston Rockets team back in the day or a little bit earlier too. Um, but just yeah, like he knew kind of a little bit more direction back then. You didn't really hear too much about kind of this outside drama stuff. I mean, you knew it was there, but just it wasn't like as prevalent as it is now. I feel like, and it's gotten to this point where like you have such a good talent in Joel Embiid that you could still build around like that team with just him. So just I mean, at this point, I just he's dead weight. You just gotta get him out of here somehow because you can still compete. Joel Embiid. I mean,
Oh yeah.
you were. I know you're a Joel Embiid fan.
Hmm.
Um, and I mean, I love Joel Embiid and low key, the team I think he should go to, a team that would be fantastic if we just traded away all of our centers. I would take Joel Embiid on the Detroit Pistons. I would. I would totally take that. Imagine him and
That's
Cade.
interesting
Could
though.
you imagine a him and Cade? I mean, first off, Detroit would lose it. Like having an
Oh yeah.
actual
Oh
superstar in
oh yeah.
Detroit. Oh, see, almost I'm calling somebody a superstar in Detroit.
There you go.
That would be insane there. I think the people would love it. I kind of think Joel Embiid would like. I don't know. I mean, again, not happening. But man, I like to get on the phone with somebody on some NBA squad and start getting that through the whisperings
Yeah,
because
it's good that you mentioned that because that has been kind of the question I've seen come up recently in the last couple of weeks leading up to media day and training camp. Just could we see after this season if the Sixers don't win it, which I don't think they are, but obviously anything is possible in the NBA.
Sixers.
Will he be traded? Like, will he seek out of Philadelphia? And I think that it's going to come down to like I don't see him being somewhere outside of Philly, but like you could say the same thing about Damian Lillard. Like you didn't see him anywhere outside of Portland. But
That's very true. Yeah, like
so like
okay,
I
yeah.
think anything is possible. I feel like if James Harden does end up getting traded to X team, I feel like Joel Embiid is going to sit here and say like, hey, like what are we doing? We traded the only real superstar or star that we've had in the last 5 years, 4 or 5 years. I'm not counting Ben Simmons. No, I'm not counting Ben Simmons because I dislike Ben Simmons 100%. Like he's fake. Could we see Joel Embiid on the move? It's a possibility. Just it depends on what Daryl Morey feels is best for the team, and I feel like we're gonna find out about that if James Harden is still on the Sixers when we tip off. Now, I don't know about that. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think that he could possibly be traded before the season starts?
I kind of lean towards yes. I do see him being traded, just because I think if you're Daryl Morey right now, like I think you just gotta ask yourself I mean, is this whole fiasco really worth it? Like, is this whole just dragging this process out just to get the chance of maybe having a certified playoff choker on our team? I just don't think that. So I gotta chill out. I gotta chill out. But I don't. At some point, I think we just gotta take a step back and just be like, we have some good pieces here that we can either do something now with, try to trade James and try to build maybe a couple of pieces around Joel Embiid, try to do something else. Because I mean, they've been trusting this process for the better part of a decade now, and
They've been trusting this process since like we've been in high
it is
school.
it's a decade.
If
It's
you
really been
really
a
sit down
decade.
and think about it, it's been since we've been in high
A
school.
process is something that you do maybe after a year. If you get the process going, like boom, you got it, you got a path. We're a decade into this process, and we might actually we're straight up regressing. We're going back. So at this point, if 10 years wasn't going to cut it, how much time can you spend in the NBA? It's just I think at this point, if you're Joel Embiid too, you got to be asking yourself okay, this was kind of our big shot to put us up there, and if we're James is gone now, I just say it's insane to me. I really think that's yeah. I think it's gonna be crazy having just kind of seeing where this goes. I guess um, from Daryl Morey's point of view and seeing if he wants to get rid of him so badly to the point where it's just I'll take anything, and you kind of see a fleece of a deal for James Harden. Or I've kind of heard it kind of seems like they've been a little stingy though, and I think right now they're kind of just hey, let's try to get everything we can until kind of
Mm.
we wake up, or we really kind of dive into this nightmare here. Because I mean, this is it's going to be a very just awkward season for the 76ers.
I feel like, and this can kind of be my last thing about this, but I feel like if he does end up showing to training camp, we're going to get 2020 James Harden before he was traded to the Nets. He's gonna bring out the fat suit. It's sitting
Dude,
in his closet right now. He waiting to put it on. He's gonna put this fat suit on. He gonna show up. Then Embiid, yeah, he gonna have a
this is,
problem about that.
yeah. See,
Joel Embiid is
I
for
hope
sure gonna have a problem about that. Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder if we hear something like even like in one of the practices, if he shows up, just like Embiid, just like rips him a new one. It's just kind of like, yeah, like like dude, like what's going on? Like what are we doing here? Just
Oh yeah.
because like honestly, like I mean, I'm a fan, and I'm just like at that point, like dude, like what are you doing? Like I just this is frustrating watching James Harden do all this, and yeah. Anyway, I'll leave it at that with James Harden because yeah, he
We
gets me
we
worked
could
up.
go on about James Harden, and
Oh yeah.
this isn't the first time that we have sat and talked about James Harden
No.
before the season starts. Like this is, it's like you said, sick of it. This is a recurring problem that we're having every season, and it'll be interesting to see how it does pan out.